Hello, hello. Welcome everyone to Where Soul Meets Leadership. I am so excited today because we have a special guest. And this is one that I've been wanting to have on one of our Tuesdays for a while because I think this will be a really enlightening conversation. We're in the month of February, which for many represents, well, the full moon and the fire horse, time of the fire horse. But what else is February known for? Love, right? Valentine's Day, it's this love month. You see hearts everywhere. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce you all to Frank DeGeneva, who is an author and a relational guide. Now, Frank, I know you can introduce yourself better than I can. Please explain about relational guide and what you do, and welcome.
Thank you for having me on, Kathyrn. And it's just as we spoke prior to getting that refinement of what we do, because we both do so much and we have such a wide canvas. It just distilling it. I would call myself a relational guide. I explore emotional patterns, intimacy, and basically modern relationships. But that's been where I am now on the lens because there's so much has happened to me and experientially to get to this point of refinement. And I'm probably not done refining, but for now, I'm just showing patterns and talking about intimacy, talking about relationships and between the masculine and the feminine. And that's, just basically, I could keep going on and on. So we'll just stop at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, amazing. Yeah. Something that we all were not taught. We don't take the class in school. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who crashed and burned big time in relationships. I definitely give myself a D, but I give myself an A for effort because I worked in the realm of what I knew, what I saw around me. I didn't know any different, right? And I love how you say, you're still refining and still, I feel like it's like you're still growing. And when a coach, a guide, mentor, spiritual person, whatever you want to call it, when we talk about that we're still growing and still healing, those are the people that I line up with. When I meet the other type who coach or teach and do no work on themselves, I'm out the door. I have no interest in that. And as we've spoken many times, I still go to my mentors and guides and I go into deep healing. And it's important because I know when I go into a deep place and it's painful and I'm crying and, there's stuff coming up, it's a core wound, then I know with grace, when I'm sitting across from one of my clients, I know this place, I do it too, right?
Yeah.
And so for you, because now, you're growing and refining what you do, I know that you have books, right? And about relationships, and you talk about relationships a lot. And I'm curious, how did you end up being a relational guide? How did that end up your life journey? How did it get you to this?
Well, like yourself, I haven't failed anything in school. I passed everything, even if it was with a 51 percentage. But I probably got an F, not for my name Frank, but an F in relationships. But I believe that F is for even the fortitude or just for enduring and learning so much. So I just wanted to touch a little bit about what you said. I only felt comfortable coming out as a guide now because I can't. When I see people going through a weekend warrior class, master class, or they have one trip of an ayahuasca trip and they're all of a sudden enlightened and they're master class teachers. It's a lot has happened for me to get to this point, and it took me this long to say, hey, I'm going to do it. So it's the failure or the learning. I want to say failure, the learning. So I change that F and make it to an A plus of what I learned. I'm also in my career as a hairstylist. I took over the family business and I owned a salon. And I've had thousands of people, and especially women, share a lot of their insight and secrets as well too. And over time, it has just kind of crystallized into, hey, I can do this. And if you want, I can briefly talk about. I just learned about this whole human design and astrology, and I found something so interesting that in my 10th house, I don't know if you have any astrology buffs here, but I have in my 10th house is how you express and how you are to the world and your career and that. I have Mars and Venus, which is masculine and feminine, in my first house, along with Mercury, which is communication. So, I talk about my life, and we're not going to talk about it today, but being in the feminine, renouncing or abandoning my masculine to try to connect, and having all those experiences forged, and then even astrologically, if you would, vibrationally, I've just come to the place where this is what I'm meant to be doing. So I don't know if that answers your question, but that's yeah.
It does. It does. And it's exactly what I was sort of pointing towards. And I'll just let everyone know he's not drinking a beer right now. I already asked him. I'm like, Frank, are you drinking a beer?
Soda water.
Soda water. Anyways, it's like me when I drink out of those wine glasses. And when I first started doing that, I would always say, when I was live, I'm like, I'm not drinking wine, it's water. Because I didn't realize even there were like a tumbler type of wine glass.
Right.
Anyways, today I'm drinking out of just a regular water bottle.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, because what I was trying to pinpoint is like your life's journey brought you to this, because going into the family business, whether that was in your heart or not, and I'm assuming not so much,
Not at all.
but you're very talented at it. Okay. And what you were really doing was spiritual training, I feel. Like all those years of talking to women and men. And also you're dealing with husbands and wives. So they're confiding in you things that they're not confiding in each other. And you have to like zip it and not share. But it's intel for you. It's like you probably have learned like the way I know there's a dating coach online and she says, I've gone on like this many number of dates as research. Well, you could have done that too, but you didn't have to. You've got all these people coming into your chair to get their hair done. What do people do when they get their hair done? A lot of them just start confessing. They think they're at the Catholic Church and they're doing confession. Right.
Yeah. And then without the thing here, and I mean, right. But as soon as you touch someone and there's safety there, the rapport is off the charts. And I'm surprised what I've been told. I have been privileged. I think most guys would love to be the fly in the wall that I was and is. And the stuff that I know, I've got a fascination of the the female psyche. It's guys wouldn't even know where to start. And it's like, that was invaluable for me. And also in addition, I've had a lot of, I don't say crash and burn, but a lot of first dates, not relationship, but a lot of dating over the years. I could write 3 books on the craziness, and I'm like, wow. So a lot of information, I have a lot of intel, and just how my mind works, I find parallels. So I navigated through that and distilled things pretty quickly, not quickly, but thoroughly or clearly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, I think that's amazing.
Yeah,
like I can see it from the outside, like looking, watching. I'm like, what a training ground! So incredible. And I wanted to ask something in particular about relationships, and it's something that I know you often would speak about, and I'm pretty sure it's in your books too. Which I'm just going to do a little thing here, a little thing I have to say about your books. You are so hilarious. Like when I'm reading your books, I'm laughing out loud. I'm lucky I'm not in a cafe because you're comedic, and I don't think you're trying. Like you're just talking how you talk. And I'm dying laughing at some of the stories you share. Anyways, just a little plug about your books. But polarity, back to polarity.
Yeah.
What is that? What's polarity? What does that mean? And what is it all about?
So I want to tread lightly here because there's a lot of polarity coaches and teachers out there that are Yeah, they're distorting the teachings. They're making it to be
Absolutely.
archaic, and it's the masculine and the feminine are coming across as being like archaic, 1950s only. Men lead and women have to follow, and the guy, like. So basically, what polarity is, and I say this in my teachings too, is you get some magnets. You have a positive end and a negative end, and they attract. So when you have so basically, it's the balance of masculine and feminine, equal parts of feminine and masculine. We all have both with ourselves, and you can get into the Carl Jungian stuff about the anima and the animus, where we have a bit of, like the Tau symbol, you have a little bit of both, right, in the background. So attraction is when the magnets are in balance. It's polarity, right? But they've been distorted where it's like it's so rigid. And it's basically the dance between the masculine and the feminine. Sometimes I have to be more feminine, like being a hairstylist and talking to women and touching them. I can't be like I'm a man working at a construction site, and I have to be receptive. I have to go in my feminine to listen to what they're saying. So I don't know if I'm answering your question directly, but it's basically the attraction, how attraction works. And you see polarity everywhere in nature, in science, in biology. There's a masculine and feminine, and that's even words. The European Latin words, there's masculine and feminine, and then neuter. I think English is not, but it's everywhere. It's everywhere, and you cannot deny it. I mean, what you choose to identify with is a whole different story, right? So, did that answer your question about?
It does. It does. Yeah. And I know for me, like my own personal understanding of this is I led a lot in my younger years with my masculine energy. Partly who I am, partly survival, trauma, but also a part of it was dating men who were more in their feminine or not. Well, actually, it's not even that they're in their feminine. They weren't in their masculine.
Yeah.
So I either got to play, the man of the relationship, or I played the mother. That I did in one relationship in particular. I was totally like, I look back now and I think, my God, how exhausting having a big child, right?
Yeah.
And this isn't a shame or a blame, but I'm part of that dynamic because I was running the show. I was playing the mother.
Well, you kind of had to. I mean, when I teach, I show that this is not something that's wrong. It's a survival, as you said. It's a lot of men have been dropping the ball in the masculine department, so women have to step up. And how do you tell a woman that's in survival mode that she has to just start being feminine and being vulnerable when her only survival was to be to lead, to take care of things, and to play a masculine role? And you look at society today; it's inverted, where women have become masculine and men have become feminine. Now, I can speak for men. I mean, I've been in my feminine most of my life, like from my birth trauma to having a mother that was kind of domineering. So I softened to try to connect that whole polarity again. She was strong, and I had to. Two strongs don't make there's no thing. I'm not saying attracted to my mother, but I'm just saying the connect, the feeling of love. So I softened. I was being a hairstylist. That's not a masculine dominated unless you're Italian or European.
Which you are.
Right. So.
So that's there you go.
I had long hair. I had a baby face. My name is Frankie, my real name. So that's a feminine. So, and always around women. I was always in spiritual workshops. I was the only guy. So I was this man, but like feminine, to try to connect. My ex-wife was more of a masculine frame in most of my relationships until I figured it out. Wait a second. I've abandoned my masculine. So I journeyed through the feminine as a man, and I'm glad because Kathyrn, I can relate now to the psyche and how because men, when we speak, well, if you're in your masculine, you speak directly. We speak in lines, and women speak more kind of like how the feelings. Like, if I say something that's fact, a woman typically feels as an attack on her because the words make her feel a certain way, and her nervous system gets all defensive and that. So I've learned how to communicate to women without activating her? Because men go by facts and women go by how that makes them feel. Even though the facts are right, you can really have a woman shut down if you say it wrong, or if you say it in a certain way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I completely understand that, and I what I understand too is that I remember sharing with you at one point that my the coach I worked with, like this is like 25 years ago, and I was, almost in tears saying, I'm tired. Like it came out as I was in a deeper, more regulated place to say, I'm tired of wearing the pants in the relationship. And then she looked at me, she says, well, then stop wearing the pants. And I was like, ding, like stop being the man.
But how do you just do that when your methods are what's keeping you safe?
Well,
how do you just take the pants off and put a skirt on?
Yeah, that's why I do what I do.
Right.
I had to regulate the nerves, and I had to feel safe in my body.
Yes.
I had to feel safe in my vulnerability, in my femininity, and understand the power. Because growing up with my father and 4 brothers, as a young girl, I thought women were weak and not very effective. And so I really wanted to be one of the guys. And I wanted to show my father, my brothers, how strong and tough I am.
Yeah.
And I could take on the world, which I did in my own way. And I had to learn, okay, enough proving myself. Like it was like a proving of worthiness as a woman, and getting to the place where I felt safe and powerful, just being me.
Right. And that's what I'm focusing on now too, is not saying don't be effeminate, and just to show what the cost is of being in the masculine, and how it just getting from the fear of survival and safety to having being able to be vulnerable, to be feeling safe to receive, because that meant pain and loss. And so femininity looks like weakness to a lot of masculinized women.
Yeah.
And how do you if a woman is in that mode, and I was watching, I saw a post on my feed on Facebook, and there was a woman who's coaching other women. She was divorced. She has a child, and she teaches how to work with hormones and build strong muscles, and that's working for her. Who am I to say, oh, you got to be feminine now? No, that's not who I'm inviting to come to see my work. It's more like, are you tired? Are you ready? Are you frustrated? Do you want something different that you can soften into? And that's where I come in. I don't try to convince a woman is in that mode. Because
there's no way you could convince.
I don't even want, in the past, because I was in my feminine, and I'm like, hey, I want to fix you so I can be approved. So it becomes a performance. And it's not about performing, it's about beingness. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really happy to hear that, like the way you approach that, and working with women, because I know that you have shared with me that you've met a lot of very masculine women, and they get triggered and offended pretty quickly. Like I noticed a couple of years ago in your Facebook group, and then I would swoop in and write a comment like more in the feminine. I'm like, oh, okay, well, and leave it kind of middle of the road, because I'm not triggered.
Right.
But also bless, because that person was really triggered, and I'm hoping that triggering gets them to get to the place where they're like, let's find out what this is.
Right. And my last book, Why You're Still Single or in a Shitty Relationship, has a trigger warning. I actually put that on the book in the back with those yellow triangles.
I love that book.
It's cool. Now, I don't work like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that book is still important. It's still a way to kind of shake. Like, I just had a comment from a reader that this morning saying, I agree with everything you say, but angry face, like, this is so dysregulating to me. I'm like, and she said, and you don't know who this is, so I can say it, that's not on my bingo card. That wasn't on my bingo card to read the book because she got triggered. I said, we're not playing bingo here.
No.
But at the same time, though, Kathyrn, is I don't do that anymore. I come to a place where it's not a judgment. There's no shaming. Where I kind of was in that, not shaming, but I was more blunt. Now I know how words land on a nervous system, of a feminine nervous system. So I'm more observational, more inviting, and more less teaching, and more, hey, how about this? How about that? So that doesn't put up their trigger thing, right? So if you resonate, you're going to want more. If you're in your masculine as a feminine, bye. And that's okay. I honor where everybody is.
Well, and maybe it's just a not yet.
The seed.
All that means is someone goes away, like, because you can't ram someone into like, do this, it's going to help you, which you know, right? So I think that's great, Frank, that you're recognizing, like, just go in softly. And some people are going to be triggered. They'll run. They'll probably turn around and come back to you. Might take a couple of years, right?
Or not.
But it's their timing, and there's no rush. There's no timeline. We're all open to, do this or not do this when it suits us.
Yeah. And the thing is, Kathyrn, is because I couldn't convince them in the past, not now, I felt that I failed. I didn't fix them, so I'm not good enough.
Because that's very masculine.
Right.
Men want to fix.
Right. And I learned, if someone wants to share their feelings, they're just trying to take the pressure off, emotional pressure off, not come in with solutions. And I've learned that. Saying, okay, validate where they're at. See, as a guy, we just want to just fix. And those fixing solutions first will get them pissed off. It's like, you think I didn't think of that? And I don't want to hear a solution. I just want to process. But then they won't say that. But I just feel that, where am I going with that? I just lost my thought. But it's just a different way where I don't need to. I'm here if you're ready. I'm here. If not, I honor exactly where you are, and that's it.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, what's that? I hate cliches and I hate sayings because, like, I like being original with things.
Yeah.
But take a horse to water, you can't make it drink.
Yeah.
That one works actually.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. Like, someone can hang around me, and if like they can choose to do the work, they can hang around you. They can choose to do the work or choose not, because they're like, this is bullshit. I don't want to do this. Okay, fine.
Yeah. But you don't take it personally because you've already. You can't teach where you haven't been. Like, as you said, all those years of doing therapy, and going through experiences of relationships, have basically. See, I'm like losing it again. It's like, where am I?
Good.
I don't take things personally where I did before, and it's like, I'm totally lost my thought.
That's okay. We're in the full moon energy. So just so you know, everyone watching, we've pre-recorded this. My suggestion, I wanted to pre-record this. So we're just like 2 days, we're Friday and the full moon Sunday. We're in the full moon energies. So I know for me right now that emotional this week, like someone just looks at me and I'm like, Right. I was at an event last night, and me and a bunch of women were all like just meeting each other. We all know each other from online, but we met each other in person. We're all hugging and everyone's got tears in their eyes, and people are telling me their life stories, and and I'm sitting there welling up, because I'm very raw right now with this full moon. So it makes sense to be a little,
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
But I do have a question.
Either, so.
What's that?
That, and I haven't eaten anything yet today. So I'm
that's right. You were just with clients, and now, and I even said, I'm like, are you sure? Do you want to record right now? Like, why don't we just take some time? You can go eat, and like, no, let's do it. I'm like, okay,
we can do it. Yeah, I just
okay, that's fine. I get it.
I guess because of maybe the moon stuff, but it's also I wanted to say so much that I just go instead of doing, and then I just have so much here. It's like, okay, where was it? Where was I? But yeah, no, I'm good.
You're good. Okay. Yeah. I do have a question, Frank. This one is, there's this lawyer, the divorce lawyer, that I love to watch his. Yeah, I like to watch his stuff.
That's good.
I mean, he's funny. Some of the stuff I agree with, some I don't. But so here's the thing. He's talking, about the high divorce rate, which I think is it would be much higher if people were honest. A lot of marriage, this is me. I mean, I'm not a relationship coach, not a marriage coach. This is just Kathyrn on the park bench, just spitting things out. But I feel there would be way more divorces if people could be truthful, but sometimes there's children, there's financial reasons, and it's just easier. I get it. I mean, I understand. I've stayed in relationships too long because I'm like, oh, there's a lot of work to leave,
Yeah.
So that's one thing. But what I seem to notice, and maybe it's just social media, maybe it's not true, but there's a lot of women who no longer want to date. And then a lot of men also saying that too. What do you think on that? Do you think that's true, or what do you think's going on here?
100% true. There is a group called MGTOW, Men Going Their Own Way.
Oh.
Yeah, it's in the red pill community, meaning like when men get together and just they had enough because, men, we feel, we shared our feelings. We were emotionally involved, so we started sharing our feelings. We started doing cleaning the house, doing the dishes. As men, on a collective, we feel like we've done everything to try to make a woman happy, and we feel that it's impossible. This is the collective. I'm not saying this is true. And then women, 80% of women initiate divorce, and more so up to 90% if they're higher educated.
I heard that.
So, men, what we do best is to lead, provide, protect. And when now women are very successful, out earning men in a lot of states as well. I don't know about the statistics. And a man will stay in a relationship longer because men are more into honor, doing the right thing, blah, blah, blah. So a lot of men are unhappy. They just stay in the relationship. They're not given any sex because that whole dynamic is inverted and stuff, whatever. And I think James Sexton said this, the voice lawyer. He says, why sign a contract when the one who breaks it benefits? He's speaking to women. So men have all of a sudden saying, why should I get married when, I can't be an emotional support worker. I can't be like sharing my emotions. Like, what do I have left? I can't protect and to provide for you anymore. And we can only go so much with bandwidth emotional support. I think women are better with women for that. And I guess we've just kind of say 3 words can destroy a man's life now. When a woman says, I'm not happy, the marriage is over. But men put up, like, I don't want to try to start triggering any debate here. Just men will stay in a relationship longer just because he's done it. Like, he might not be happy and he's like, shit, I'm in prison now, right? There's a lot of jokes. Men are more willing to die that are married than the single ones, but I think we've gotten to a point where marriage is to be looked at like strategically. Is it a business? I mean, do we really need it anymore? We're not in the old ages where one has to do one work and make money and the other one has to do householding. Like, technology has wiped that out. We're on a level playing field here. So now we have to redefine our roles. But I really believe the polarity, the masculine and feminine, still applies, and that's inverted. So that's screwing things up. The whole constitution of marriage is nuts. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's a mess. It's a mess. And there's a statistic that says by 2030, about 55% of women will be childless and single. That's a scary, sobering thought. The way we're going now, I think it's going to be worse than that. I think society we have to reinvent what it means. Most people are dating just to date, where it used to be you date to marry.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
is it transactional? Has it become just transactional? Was it always marriage was always transactional? Were relationships always transactional? Right? Like, okay, aside from the sex and the companionship, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I've heard that too, that, a lot of the younger generation, like, think about it. It's like they're all with dating apps. They don't do the in-person thing for the most part, the way it used to be done, right? So it's dating apps, and those, like, it's very fickle. It's like swiping left, right, left, right, left. And then you're just like, people are having these conversations. Are they actually even going on dates?
No.
I mean, I imagine some are, but it's probably just a hookup, really.
And I put myself into this, and I put myself in this category because I can't point and then not have it. Like I use dating apps as research now, believe it or not. Having said that, I'm on there and I see how everything is. 2 points. One was like, women used to be, oh, I hope he likes me. Now it's like, oh, I hope I like him and he checks off my boxes. That's how it's changed there. But also, if you really be honest, if you're a social person and you don't have a lot of issues with you, I'm not saying issues, that's probably a wrong word. I don't think we need dating apps, because I know women that are very grounded and in flow with themselves. Guys will be a lineup. They don't have to be. I question why women are on dating apps. It should be organic, not should, woulda, coulda, whatever. Should, like, I don't want to be this, but I mean, a woman that has value will be souped up in no time. So who's on these dating apps? Do they have certain patterns that they have to go through still to be desirable? Why are they single at that still that age? Why is a guy still single at that age? So I think it's, see, when I went on Plenty of Fish before, I used to call it Plenty of F-ups. And you know what? Maybe just it's putting a lens on our dysfunctions of how we've become, and how we see relationships, and how the solipsism and just our narcissistic kind of tendency. And I'm not saying narcissist, because that's been thrown around too easy now. Everybody's a narcissist now, right? But it's like, maybe it's got a spotlight on what we have to work on. I don't know. That's just a thing that came into my head now. It's like, hey.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. It is about, it's the timing, and I feel there's a crumbling for a reason.
Yeah.
The light is being shone. People I'm hoping even more, will recognize that the issue is not outside. It's not the guy. It's not the girl. They're not the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is, and it's not a problem. It's the layers of wounds. It's like one person, the female walks in with all these wounds and triggers. The male walks in with all his wounds and triggers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, how can you have a relationship, a marriage? I mean, it's unfair, right? It's unfair to both of them, not even knowing.
Right. I believe that we're mirrors, and we've come together to replace certain things. Like, I mean, you have a certain kind of, you want to call it trauma, or a repressed experience or emotion that's been processed. We come in to meet, so you can replay out your childhood shortcomings or the fractures of that, or all the betrayals of blah, 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 whatever. And I think that's what we mistaken for attraction. The butterflies, oh my God, look at them. They just come in here to trigger you into regulating your nervous system. So, and I want to bring this up now, and I'm not trying to say, look at me. Like, I've done a lot of work. And I find that I have less mirrors now. I mean, I still have shadow work to do. Like, no one's perfect. Like, I'm probably got more issues than most people, but who knows? Maybe I don't. Like, I'm just trying to be humble about this. So I don't find a lot of people attractive anymore. Like, I don't get those butterflies anymore. Now it's almost like, oh, this person's gentle, it's nice, right? So it's almost like the more you spiritually become, the less you're attracted to dysregulation, because your nervous system is balanced. It doesn't need that stimulation. It's like, okay, now, what does it feel like to really be in love with somebody? Like, for real, like, in interest, not just like, oh my God, like, the butterflies are basically a signal to run. It's cortisol, it's panic, it's fight or flight. But we mistaken that as attraction.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's coming back to the most simplest form of love. And it's like, when I listen to little children share about what love is, like the cute things like, well, when he gave me his snack, when I didn't have snack, like they say little things like that.
Yeah.
But that is love.
That's beautiful. Not wanting anything back.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. Like in relationships, definitely there's an expectation for many. In the past, I feel for a lot of us. And when it's love, it's like it's freely giving.
Yeah.
Like, this is the gift. There's no strings on it. There's nothing attacking. It's just, here it is.
Yeah. I had an experience a couple months ago. I met someone, not in a date, but just in an environment with a spiritual kind of group, and they were partnered up. So it wasn't anything about that, but it's like everybody in this group thought we were together because there was such a resonance, and I wasn't trying to earn, perform, seek approval, and I was just doing things to help this person. Like, there was food there, and there was things and papers being shared out, and the person didn't get the handouts, and I just automatically said, okay, they probably won't because they were engaged in something else, and everything was just beautifully resonated. I'm like, oh my God, this is real. And I thanked the person afterwards for giving me the gift of confirmation that I've raised my vibration enough or enough not to have the performance to earn. And it was like they reciprocated. There was like, oh, would you like, I was given a care package of food after the event, and it's like, here is for you. I'm like, it was just like giving and taking without expecting, without proving, without anything. I'm like, and I said to this person, thank you. You now, like, you've proven that there's, like, it just manifested like what I know that's authentic, and it was beautiful, and there was no stickiness, there was no like chasing or so. I want to share that experience.
It's a different level.
It's like, who can I find that's damaged so I can fix that? That was my old thing, because I had to fix
that's
my
everyone.
worthiness, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Frank. It's been an amazing conversation. Like, I'm way over time, but that's okay. People will jump off if they needed to go at 30 minutes, but I feel that this conversation deserved more than 30 minutes, because I think this is deep, and I think this is like fire horse conversation right now. So I think it's been incredible. I do want to mention, or I'm going to have you mention your website and your different books.
Okay, thank you for that. So you can see them in the background. I don't know if they're visible.
I can see them.
My first book is The Ultimate Journey: An Earth Traveler's Guide to Awakening, and that was my zero to when I wrote it in 2016 of how my awakening and struggling and finding my way. The second book is Create the Life You Desire: Unlock Your Greatest Potential, and that's about putting it into action and getting in tune with nature, your body, empowerment, belief systems. It's pretty intense. And then my recent one is Why You're Still Single or in a Shitty Relationship, and that's about basically what we're talking about. And my website is frankdigenova.com. So it's just built. It's not fully operational yet, but it's still navigatable. Got a little gift coming up, my new offering coming up in a couple months. So I'm excited to that. And that's just going to show, it reflects where I am now. So I'm very happy with it. I'm very proud of it.
Beautiful. Yeah. So what I'll do afterwards, either you or I, because you're in the group, one of us on Tuesday, as this comes out, we'll put in the comments your website. Okay. One of us will take care of it. One of us will jump in.
Right. Cool. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And this has been really insightful. And I really am grateful for you taking this time to speak and share with the group.
Thank you. And thank you for having me, Kathyrn, and for everybody listening.
Very welcome.
Cool.